Let us explore the world full of mystery. The world that exists beyond our capacity to think. Where the history can tell, but can't explain by the ordinary. This is Astrum Proiectura. Back. 1945. Bermuda Triangle. Many naval ships and army planes feared the so-called the Devil's Triangle. They said that the stories of the lost ships are just old folks. Some said it's just mere hearsay. Some, they actually experienced it. Flight 19. Last sighting on Bermuda Triangle. Flight 19 was the designation of a group of 5 Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that disappeared over the Bermuda Triangle on December 5, 1945, after losing contact during a United States Navy overwater navigation training flight from Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale, Florida. All 14 airmen on the flight were lost, as were all 13 crew members of a Martin PBM Mariner flying boat that subsequently launched from Naval Air Station Banana River to search for Flight 19. The PBM aircraft was known to accumulate flammable gasoline vapors in its bilges, and professional investigators have assumed that the PBM most likely exploded in mid-air while searching for the flight. Navy investigators could not determine the exact cause of the loss of Flight 19. Radio conversations between the pilots were overheard by base and other aircraft in the area. The practice bombing operation is known to have been carried out because at about 15 a pilot requested and was given permission to drop his last bomb. 40 minutes later, another flight instructor, Lieutenant Robert F. Cox in FD-74, forming up with his group of students for the same mission, received an unidentified transmission. An unidentified crew member asked Powers, one of the students, for his compass reading. Powers replied, "I don't know where we are. We must have got lost after that last turn." Cox then transmitted, "This is FD-74, plane or boat calling Powers, please identify yourself so someone can help you." The response after a few moments was a request from the others in the flight for suggestions. FD-74 tried again and a man identified as FT-28, Taylor, came on. FD-28, "This is FD-74, what is your trouble?" "Both of my compasses are out," Taylor replied, "and I am trying to find Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am over land but it's broken. I am sure I'm in the Keys but I don't know how far down and I don't know how to get to Fort Lauderdale." FD-74 informed the NAS that aircraft were lost, then advised Taylor to put the sun on his port wing and fly north up the coast to Fort Lauderdale. Base operations then asked if the flight leader's aircraft was equipped with a standard YG/IFF transmitter, which could be used to triangulate the flight's position. But the message was not acknowledged by FT-28. Later he would indicate that his transmitter was activated. Instead, at 16:45, FT-28 radioed, "We are heading 030 degrees for 45 minutes, then we will fly north to make sure we are not over the Gulf of Mexico." During this time no bearings could be made on the flight, and IFF could not be picked up. Taylor was told to broadcast on 4,805 kHz. This order was not acknowledged, so he was asked to switch to 3,000 kHz, the search and rescue frequency. Taylor replied, "I cannot switch frequencies. I must keep my planes intact." At 16:56, Taylor was again asked to turn on his transmitter for YG if he had one. He did not acknowledge, but a few minutes later advised his flight change course to 090 degrees, due east, for 10 minutes. About the same time someone in the flight said, "Damn it, if we could just fly west we would get home, head west. Damn it." This difference of opinion later led to questions about why the students did not simply head west on their own. It has been explained that this can be attributed to military discipline. As the weather deteriorated, radio contact became intermittent, and it was believed that the 5 aircraft by this point were more than 200 nautical miles, 230 miles, 370 kilometers, out to sea east of the Florida Peninsula. Taylor radioed, "Will fly 270 degrees west until landfall or running out of gas," and requested a weather check at 17:24. By 1750 several land-based radio stations had triangulated Flight 19's position as being within a 100 nautical miles, 120 miles, 190 kilometers, radius of 29 degrees north 79 degrees west. Flight 19 was north of the Bahamas and well off the coast of central Florida. But nobody transmitted this information on an open, repetitive basis. At 1804, Taylor radioed to his flight holding 270, "We didn't fly far enough east, we may as well just turn around and fly east again." By that time, the weather had deteriorated even more and the sun had since set. Around 1820, Taylor's last message was received. It has also been reported that Taylor's last message was received at 1904, he was heard saying, "All planes close up tight, we'll have to ditch unless landfall. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together." That was the last transmission of Flight 19 and they found no more. No one can explain what happened, but one thing all the professional may say that what happened is a paranormal. Many theories were made. Some says all the disappearance is caused by natural disaster. Some by sea monster and some because of aliens. But one thing is now sure. No one of the Flight 19 members were found, even the plane that was sent to track them. Now they vanished without any trace. If you liked this video, please subscribe for more stories.